Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Ashley and welcome to Ashley's Roses. Wait, I need the other book. You guys, I've been so excited for this video. If you guys have been following me for a bit, then you would know that a year ago, on January 27th, I put out my first poetry book called Beauty Grown From Thorns, and I did like a whole unboxing on my channel and shared a little bit about it, but it's about my journey of living with cystic fibrosis and just facing different trials throughout my life. And these poems spanned over 7 years and plus, of like different ups and downs and different lessons I've learned, and just creating a book of like of hope, but also like reconnecting with my faith, I guess you could say, and finding my strength in my faith, and just the ups and downs of having cystic fibrosis. And it's been a whirlwind with this book. I had a book signing, and so many people from all over have read this book, and we even have adapted it into a short film, which will be premiering sometime this year, more specifically May. More details coming soon about that. And I actually have the trailer to show you guys today. So that trailer will be shown at the end of this video. So we took different poems of Beauty Grown From Thorns and adapted it to create a short narrative experimental film that shows the journey of a girl with cystic fibrosis, learning to find strength in her faith, and just sharing the different ups and downs of having CF and everything that pertains with that. So it's cinematic poetry, so I'm very excited for you guys to see it when that time comes. But yeah, so I wrote this and then we adapted it into a short film. That was a very loud car. So yes, it's been a journey with that. But I would say one thing that was said a lot. This was a very unexpected piece of art form for me to do, but also unexpected because people were not expecting a darker aspect, and I wanted people to kind of feel the pain, but also have the pain, but also the growth that can come from it, and the strength to then finding the beauty, which is why it's called Beauty Grown From Thorns. The poetry that I read is very like emotional, in your feels. That's the type of poetry I like to read. I don't really read a lot of love poems. I really don't. My favorite poet is Edgar Allan Poe, so I think, hello? But I just like more complex, onion layered poems where there's just so many layers to unpeel. Just raw, emotional, and honest poems. Those are my favorite poems to read. Love poems, hit or miss. But some people did ask me, they're like, oh, I hope like your next poetry book will be love poems. And the thing that people don't really realize about me is a lot of times when I go MI on social media, A, it's because I'm going through things, or B, it's because I'm so busy. And most of it's because I'm so busy. And as soon as one project is done, behind the scenes of that project, I'm working on another project. Like, there's always something that I'm working on. So while I was like promoting this and talking about this, I was writing my second poetry book called I Caught The Bouquet. And I mean, first off, like, look at the artwork. It's beautiful, and the back looks like this. And I learned so many lessons about self-publishing from this to this. And I'm so proud of this book. It's definitely a lot smaller compared to this, definitely a lot smaller, but this is love poems. I did say in Beauty Grown From Thorns that I would not disclose like who any of the poems were about, if they were about anyone or any situation, but it was more towards cystic fibrosis, to be completely honest. 90% of the poems in this book pertains to cystic fibrosis, but I made it sound like it's about someone, but it's literally about cystic fibrosis. But there were a few poems in here that were about someone who's very special to me. So I did put those poems in here so that people know that these poems from Beauty Grown From Thorns that are in here are about that person, and then there are additional poems in here as well. So this poem is dedicated to Zaltakana Granados, who is my boyfriend. You've seen him here a couple of times, but he is the muse, but also he's my best friend, and I wanted to dedicate this book to him. So let me talk a little bit more about the title, and I'll read you guys the titles of the poems as well, and read the author's note. I Caught the Bouquet. Let me tell you how I came up with that title. I Caught the Bouquet. So, you know when you go to weddings and everyone calls the single ladies to the front and you gotta catch the bouquet and everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're next to get married. I have been to almost over 18 weddings. 2 of them I was flower girls, one's I was a bridesmaid for. I love weddings. It's a great time. But there's one thing I absolutely do not like. I never have, never will, until it's my time to toss the bouquet. But I do not like catching the bouquet. I've never caught the bouquet. Whenever the bouquet is thrown, I step back and I let someone else get it. I feel like it's a spotlight when you go up there and everyone knows that you're not married, and I just never have liked it, and I don't. I really don't like going up to catch the bouquet. Additionally, I'm very private about relationships or boys or guys or anything like that. Like, yes, you've seen me share pictures of my boyfriend, and yes, we've made a couple videos and such, but I probably only share like 5% of our relationship online. I really don't. This is not gonna be like a family channel or anything like that, or a couples channel, and I don't ever envision doing that. Yes, he's my boyfriend. Yes, we work together sometimes on different films and projects, but I would never try to do the whole couples family video. No, I'm very private when it comes to relationships and such, and all my life so many people have asked me like, oh, who do you have a crush on? Oh, do you have a boyfriend? Oh, who's your boyfriend? Like, when are you gonna get a boyfriend? Why don't you have a boyfriend? As soon as I get a boyfriend, oh, so when are you gonna get married? Like, is he the one? Like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you want to get married? Or when are you gonna get married? And then, oh, like, what about kids? Have you thought about kids? Like, you should really think about kids. You should really settle down soon. I've gotten these questions since middle school, and I really don't like it. I'll be straight up. My inner circle of friends know that, and they respect it. So thank you, you guys. But it's just something, because of all that, it's been something where like I just don't want to talk about it. And previous people I've been with, I've never talked about, because I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So, now that I'm in a healthy relationship, I'm with someone who loves me, and he's been there for so many ups and downs, and I had these love poems I wanted to write. I'm like, I'm going to write this. And this was the easiest thing to write. It was so much fun writing this book. And yes, it's small, but it's full of me just talking about being in love with my best friend and just sharing our story, sharing our love story. And I'm really excited to share that with you guys. And also, it's just a play on words too, of just like everything that people said and things I don't really like. It's just like, yeah, haven't really liked them in the past, but like one day I will be holding a bouquet. Maybe I won't catch a bouquet, but one day I will be holding a bouquet. I just thought it was like the catchiest title. And I'm like, I love that. Just a play on words, play on everything. So here we go. I'm going to take a quick little pause because my camera is overheating and I don't want it to cut me off mid-sentence. So I'm going to let that cool off and then I'm going to come back in a couple of seconds. So as I come back and wait for the camera to cool down, I'm going to show you guys the trailer of Beauty Grown From Thorns. A blinding spotlight shone down on a girl who once took center stage. The curtain that once hid the scars from view was torn to shreds as the actress curtsied while the wounds reopened to bleed ruby red for all critics to review. The journey has been quite long, and sore feet clack in heels along the uneven and faded bricked road. This is a war I never wanted, as I watch fellow soldiers fall. With great strength comes the responsibility to fight. A cheer erupts from the crowd as I return home, and repeated words of praise is heard. I've grown numb to the statements made of my bravery, strength, or the act of being an inspiration. I don't understand how being a warrior is praiseworthy when I've only fought to live. Every day is a blessing, but also a painful reminder of those who paved the way before my fight had begun. Okay, and we're back. So I hope you guys enjoyed the trailer. So definitely keep an eye out for any announcements. Follow the Beauty Grown From Thorns Instagram. Follow the Roseraie Media Instagram and also YouTube channel. Also follow Granadas Productions Instagram, YouTube channel, G Squad Incorporated Instagram and YouTube channel. And here, because that is, and also my personal Instagram, Ashley's.roses, because there is where you'll see any updates. So I'm excited for you guys to see it when it comes out, and yeah, it's really cool to see the poetry come to life in such an abstract way. So it's very exciting, and yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see it. So going back to I Caught the Bouquet, I'll read you guys the table of contents and the author's note. And also you guys, compared to Beauty Grown From Thorns, the first version of the poetry book, that one did not have page numbers, and this one does. So it's very exciting. There are page numbers now, and yeah, this definitely looks a lot better compared to the last book. So I definitely learned a lot. So let's see. You'll hear some, if you've read Beauty Grown From Thorns, you'll hear a couple of repeated titles. As I said, there are a few poems in here that came from the book because it's part of our story. So the poems are Catch the Bouquet, What is Love? Love is gentle. I didn't sleep well last night, Right on Time, A Theory About Love, Cuéntame el chisme, Spill the Tea, The Crush, I Chose You, Holding On to Hope, Butterflies Returned, Before the Roots, Liquid Luck of Courage, 2 Hours After Midnight, Drunk Under a Spell, I've Been Writing, My Muse, Uncharted Territory, Waking Up in Paradise, I'm in Trouble Now, It Started, Golden Hearts, Come Back to Me, Just for Now, Tattoos on My Skin, Midnight Thoughts, Silence, Breaking You and Me, The Phone Call, I Promise, Under a Moonlit Sky, To Be Seen is to Be Loved, Windows to My Soul, It's Worth It, A Cinematic Love, Lego Brick Road, The Next Chapter, the flowers in the vase, I caught the bouquet. Then there's a little portion I wrote in here called Before the Bouquet, and then the author's note. So I'll read that to you guys. And because I put this on Instagram, I'll also read Catch the Bouquet as well, which is the first opening poem of this book. Before the Bouquet. Before the flowers were gathered and the bouquet was made, Beauty Grown From Thorns rose to bloom. I shared my journey of living with cystic fibrosis, loss, heartache, finding strength through my faith. It was expressed in the author's note of Beauty Grown From Thorns. As much as I am aware that readers from my private life will want to examine each poem to determine what inspired it, that I will not disclose. Full disclosure is not the purpose of this book. I have always seen poetry as a creative form of art that can be left to the interpretation of readers, or some may even find relatability in the words. Readers expressed the poems in Beauty Grown From Thorns were moving, heartfelt, and filled with emotion. In anticipation of what to expect in the next poetry book, requests were made for more love poems. Selected poems from Beauty Grown From Thorns have been included in I Caught The Bouquet to share my journey with love and who the muse of some of my writings have been about. Author's note. Kelsey Ballerini once sang, "I think Cupid is stupid, and violets are purple, not blue. I hate catching bouquets, the honeymoon phase. I hate love songs, but I love you." Love poems or love songs sometimes seemed overrated to me. As a reader, I would connect with books or poems that were filled with emotion and relatability. I knew what it felt like for family and friends to love me, but learning how to love and receive the love of someone who chose me has been a beautiful journey. Following my first poetry book, Beauty Grown From Thorns, I had been quietly working on my second book that would share excerpts from my heart in a beautiful and vulnerable way. Sharing the story of falling in love with my best friend has been the easiest and biggest blessing to write. And now for the opening poem, Catch the Bouquet. I've never cared for catching a bouquet or calling all the single ladies to the front. To toss a bundle of flowers to a bunch of girls to then hint, "You're next to get hitched," blinded me in an unwanted spotlight I tried my best to avoid. Petals and leaves fly up into the air while girls fight for a bunch of flowers. Chill. It's not that big of a deal. At least, to me it's not. A girl will squeal with delight running to the bride with a handful of flowers, while the other girls with no ring in sight walk out of the spotlight. Catch the bouquet, they say. It will be fun, they say. I'd rather not. So, I don't really have a favorite poem in this book. A lot of them are my favorites. But I'm going to read one of my favorites, and it's called Golden Hearts. The winds of the Golden City unveiled our secret to our friends. We didn't leave our love in San Francisco. Our love was growing in the fast-paced city. People rushed past us in a blur, but it was only you and I in the golden age of Technicolor, while moments between us were captured in slow motion. The brushing of hands, quick glances, and the almost kiss. I left my heart in the Golden City as the winds formed new memories of our story. But yeah, there's many other poems in here, so definitely go check it out. It can be purchased on Amazon. Soon other sites. I'm working on it. And also I'm currently in the midst of making a Kindle version of this book as well. So stay tuned for that. I will announce that when that time comes. But this will be available on other sites, but currently just right now it's on Amazon. So link will be in the bio, but you can also type in I Caught the Bouquet by Ashley Wilson on Amazon. Again, feel free to follow my social media to keep up with me and my life and all the other projects I'm working on and putting out there for you guys. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!